folks, hope you all are doing well. I'm Karan Bandal from eCornerSite, and in this video, let's expand on the topic of Global Capability Centers or GCCs in India. This is part 2 of the discussion on India's IT sector and the GCCs. Check out the link in the description for part 1. A quick recap first. India's IT sector is worth over $250 billion and employs over 5 million people. GCCs are part of this IT sector and are increasingly gaining in prominence. They already make up almost a quarter of India's IT sector. GCCs are essentially the outposts of foreign companies operating in India. These companies are picking India over other nations by a huge margin to set up their GCCs. The number of GCCs operating in India is around 1800 at present and is expected to cross 2200 by 2030 according to a recent Ernst & Young report. And with that, their revenue contribution to India's IT sector is expected to cross $100 billion. So here are some other interesting aspects of the GCCs in India. The reason behind the rush of foreign companies setting up GCCs in India is this. Global companies are transforming themselves as tech companies. They are moving towards decision making based on data and analytics more than before. Therefore, they are undertaking massive transformational programs, and India provides the tech talent needed at this huge scale at competitive cost. Check out these cost statistics. According to the Ernst & Young report, the cost per full-time employee or cost per FTE is somewhere around $29,000 per year at present. This is less than the minimum wage in the state of California in the United States. In other words, at less than the cost of hiring an entry-level role with McDonald's in California, you can find in India the capability to work on advanced IT activities such as AI and ML. Having said that, $29,000 go a long way in India. So what about the pay at the executive level? The cost story here is a little different. Global companies are competing in scaling up their GCCs in India to such an extent that the salaries being offered to executives are reaching new highs every passing year. For top roles such as managing directors or country heads, the salaries being paid are anywhere between 3 to 6 crore rupees per year. The share of GCCs offering such high pay packages to top level roles have doubled in the last 2 years. And in some of the larger GCCs, the country heads are taking home almost $1 million per year. Moreover, the number of these leadership roles in India are only going to increase. It is projected that leadership roles based in India are expected to increase almost 5-fold in the next 6 years. Final aspect is the changing relationship between Indian IT companies and the GCCs. Before 2020, Indian IT companies looked at GCCs as competition, but now as business opportunity. See, recently, revenue or demand for the Indian IT companies from their primary markets in US and Europe has slowed. So they are partnering with GCCs. Indian IT companies are helping GCCs set up their operation in India, facilitate digital transformation and enable process improvement. GCCs themselves are becoming a fast-growing revenue source for the Indian IT companies. Here's one example of how GCCs are growing in India. Germany's SAP has a major presence in India. SAP Lab already has 15,000 employees working in India. Bengaluru in India is home to the most number of engineers for the company worldwide. And now SAP is building a second office in Bengaluru with an additional capacity of 15,000. SAP's main team for its AI strategy is located in India. I'll wrap up with a parting word on AI. According to the Deputy Governor of the RBI, just the generative AI is expected to contribute over $400 billion to India's GDP by 2030. More than 1.5 times the size of the entire IT sector at present. So India's IT sector is changing. It is moving up the value chain, and with that, it will bring multitude of opportunities for the young Indians. I hope you found this analysis interesting. I'll speak with you again next week. Until then, take care.